Equine history has been accurately passed along through the generations by traditional storytelling around the manure campfires lit in an empty trough. Parents and grandparents' truthiness tales are usually told in response to a foal's questions about life and where things came from. They were usually informative but sentimental moments underneath the moonlit sky, with the moist sparks from the manure fire drifting lazily towards the stars, and generally accompanied by the sweet smell of salt lick s'mores sizzling over the dung fire fumes. The promise of fresh dung fire s'mores on a Saturday night was generally a reward to the foals for mucking their rooms. The fresh, slimy, decaying sediment gleaned from their rooms after a week of honest living provides the perfect fuel for the dung fire and making memories with family and friends.
Grandpa, why do they call us Standardbreds?
Well, Trough Talk oral history tells us that in the very early times, many horses made a living delivering bread and other things all over the world in carts. Some horses delivered really exotic bread, but our ancestors delivered standard bread and mail, so they became known as Standardbreds. The story is that a horse named Messenger started out delivering secret messages inside loaves of bread to management at the newspaper's gossip trough. Horses would always hear the publisher say, "Well, I guess I'd better break bread with Messenger before we go to print." Other horses just thought he was being friendly and having a meal with him, but he was actually breaking open the bread to get the real gossip about what was going on around town from Messenger's notes in the loaves. So, in honor of that history, the carts in the harness races today are loaded with a 200-pound load. Other horse breeds back then carried different cargo. The thoroughbreds would deliver bread too, but really, they'd deliver anything to anyone that needed it fast, and they were usually smaller packages. The partbreds, well, they deliver bread and parts for all the fix-it shops and do-it-yourselfers. Centuries later, the A in Standardbred was dropped to make it Standardbred, because everyone knew that there was so much more than just bread being delivered. And Trough Talk oral history goes on to tell us that the real big horse breeds, such as Clydesdales, would deliver real large and heavy loads. And anything that had to be delivered up a steep hill or mountain, well, they'd just get the donkeys to do it. And if they needed a receipt for the delivery, well, they'd make sure it was a mule, because the donkeys were lazy asses when it came to paperwork.
Is that all true, Grandpa?
Well, more or less.